And another week is upon us. Happy Monday, 18th day of March, 2024. I am Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's just the weather has been drop dead gorgeous. As I predicted on Friday, the whole outdoor community in the Wenatchee Valley was out and about in force on Saturday and Sunday. And if you didn't get a chance to get outdoors over the weekend, still got 2 more days of significantly nice. Actually, the whole week is going to be nice. We don't have a big time changes until Friday. We're going to have bountiful sunshine, but it is going to cool down a little bit on Wednesday and Thursday. Record high temperature, we're going to do it today. We did it yesterday. We're going to do it today, have a chance of doing it on Tuesday, the first day of spring. Wednesday is the first full day of spring. Going to cool down a little bit, but still lots of sunshine. The temperatures are still going to be well above normal. Whether we're going to break records or not, probably not by the time we get to Wednesday, but no complaints at all. That sunny and mild forecast is coming up. It was 68 on Saturday, and it felt like 80. It was 71 yesterday, felt like 90, just because we're not used to this kind of warm weather. It's been a long time. I think mid-October was the last time we had temperatures in the 70s, so we're like this. A lot of news to get to, including some shop talk that you probably know about by now. In sports, interesting weekend for the Wenatchee Wild. They started the weekend in 4th place, which would lock in home ice advantage for the first round of the WHL playoffs. They lost 2 of 3, and they're still in 4th place. We'll talk about Wenatchee Wild hockey, Kraken hockey, prep sports. Cougars are going dancing. Gonzaga is going dancing. No surprise there. We'll talk about where all the local college teams will land in the postseason tournaments coming up. And speaking of Austin Drade, he'll be here live in the back half of the program. We only have 3 regular season games left. 2 in Victoria on Wednesday and Friday. They close out over the weekend against Everett. Then the playoffs begin. Austin will be joining me live right here from Studio 7 in the back half of the program. Let's start with our tour around the Wenatchee Valley. It's 45 degrees outside of just a few high clouds wisping in and out. We're in for a lovely day today. 45 here in the big city as we look out over the Wenatchee Valley from our Wenatchee Heights camera. Just a beautiful weekend. It was impossible to stay inside. It just really was. Let's take a look at Lake Chelan. It looks something like this from the Lower Butte camera. Chelan proper just out of your field of vision there on the right, but a good swath of the south shore, or the north shore I should say, of Lake Chelan is showing up pretty nicely indeed. It's about 12 feet down from where it will be at the peak of summer, of course. They don't start filling up the bathtub for a while yet. Good morning to Lake Chelan. Smooth as glass. Number 1 candy. Let's look at the sunrise, shall we? Sunrise is just about now, 7:06. Sunset tonight, 7:12. We are past now the 12-hour daylight mark. That happened yesterday. We get 12 hours and 5 minutes of daylight today. And we're still gaining about 3 minutes of daylight. That hasn't changed at all. And let's look out over the Wenatchee Valley from our Badger Mountain camera. As you can see, just a few high clouds gives us that nice salmon-colored sunrise. Over the Cascades is where it's just gorgeous. It's beautiful. Yeah, record high yesterday. We did it. We did it. We had a record high temperature yesterday. We hit 71. Hit 71 officially at Pangborn Memorial Airport. Again, it certainly felt warmer than that. And that broke the old record of 70 on March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. That was set back in 1972. On Saturday, we hit 68, which was just short of the record. We broke the record by a degree yesterday. Our normal high temperature is 53, so we were almost 20 degrees above normal, and we are almost certainly going to break the record today. The record high temperature on this date, March 18th, is 70 degrees. That was set back in 1978. We'll be above that today and close to a record high tomorrow. We could tie it from the National Weather Service. Here's what we're looking at. 71, our forecast high. If we get to 71, we'll set a new record, and anything past that would be a new record. Again, the record on the state is 70, set back in 1978. I think we're going to break it, and I think we're going to break it in a big way. 49 for the overnight low tonight. Very mild. Again, our normal overnight low is 34, so the overnight lows, even with clear skies, fairly mild. The record high temperature for Tuesday, the 19th of March, is 69 degrees. That was set back in 1999. That's what our forecast high is on Tuesday. Still lots of sunshine. Quite a bit of sunshine Wednesday. It'll be partly sunny. We'll have a few more clouds on Wednesday with a high of 61. A few more clouds on Thursday, kind of hit and miss with a high of 61. So basically what's happened is that high pressure is going to actually slide up north into Alberta, and that's going to allow a little bit of clouds and cooler weather coming in, but that's still very mild. We don't see another rain drop in the forecast until we get to Friday. And even then, it's only about a 40% chance of rain, but we have a 50% chance of rain on Saturday. Temperatures back down to normal, but we still have 2 days of sunny and record-breaking high temperatures. Not record-breaking high temperatures, but quite a bit of sunshine Wednesday and Thursday with a cooling trend. And then it's a friendly reminder that it's still March by the time we get to Friday and Saturday. All right, it's 6 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a quick break, then we'll have your news, and there's a lot of it. You're watching a Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air. Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
Around here, Jack Frost nips more than just your nose. That's why people here drive Honda. Dependable all-wheel drive with traction control, with heated steering wheel and seats to keep Jack Frost off your seat, which will make it very happy. And since it's no fun to fill up in this weather, isn't it cool that Honda is known for legendary fuel efficiency? Great deals are here now, and so is Mr. Frost. So see your Inland Northwest Honda dealer today. Honda can handle it.
I chose Pinnacles because they embrace and lift people with different learning styles.
It's a school where I can be myself, creative, and be successful.
There's a lot of hands-on activity, and
you get to really connect with the community here because we're all one. We get to see each other often. It's a small building.
The teachers care about you and make sure there is equity in the classroom.
They take care of them as a whole. They see them as a name, not a number.
Clear skies, 43 degrees. We set a record high temperature yesterday. We came close on Saturday, didn't quite do it. Did it yesterday, gonna do it today. Possibly record high temperature on Tuesday. Then we're gonna cool down a little bit, but still very nice for this time of the year. It's 8 minutes after the hour. Local Telecommunications is in the process of being acquired by Ziply Fiber. Localtel CEO Dimitri Mendalis announcing the planned purchase of the company on Friday. The deal requires federal approval through various agencies, including the FCC, which is expected to take a few months. Ziply Fiber is a Kirkland-based fiber internet company that acquired the assets of Frontier Communications in 2020 and the Ephrata-based service iFiber 2 years later. If the acquisition gets the green light, Localtel says it plans to continue to operate under that name with its existing management team and no change in services. By the way, the complete statements by both Localtel and Ziply Fiber is available to read on Localtel's Facebook page. State Senator Brad Hawkins is going to run for re-election for a third term this fall, but he's going to do it from a new location. He says he's going to move from East Wenatchee to Wenatchee so he can run for a third term. Hawkins' family home was in the very northeast corner of the 12th District outside of East Wenatchee, but now he says next month he'll relocate with his family to Chelan County. The 12th Legislative District that Hawkins has served since 2017 was redrawn in 2021, and that carved most of Douglas County into the 7th District. Hawkins' home outside of East Wenatchee was just barely included in the 12th District. A new federal ruling to create a majority Latinx district near Yakima has the potential to draw Hawkins out of the 12th District altogether, so he's going to move. He condemned the decision, but he says he's going to make the move so he can continue to serve the district. A woman who was due to arrive in the Waterville area late last month has gone missing, and authorities would like your help. 64-year-old Shirley Jackson was en route from Waterville to Waterville from Vancouver, Washington, when she fell out of contact. She was last heard from on February 26th. The Washington State Patrol says Jackson was traveling to stay at a friend's house in Waterville. Didn't arrive. She's about 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighs about 196 pounds, was last seen driving a 2006 red Ford F-250 pickup with a camper shell, was wearing jeans with a black sweatshirt and a black vest. If you see Jackson, you are asked to call Rivercom and let them know. A proposal by Grace City Church to open a school at a partner church in Wenatchee is going to get a public hearing later on this month at City Hall. The city's hearing examiner will review Grace City's application to teach up to 350 students at what is calling Garden City Academy. That's a Christian school program that would be housed at King's Orchard Church of Christ. That's in the 1600 block of Orchard Avenue in Wenatchee. That takes place at 3 o'clock, the hearing on March 26th at the Wenatchee City Council chambers. The Evangelical Worship Center announced its plans for a school serving elementary through high school students last year. Separately, Grace City is also asking the city to approve for them to expand their campus at its main church site in Sunny Slope. A new application to the city asks to boost the proposed size of a new ministry building from 12,000 square feet to 30,000 square feet. Well, for you folks who regularly take Rock Island Road in East Wenatchee, the headache begins today. The city of East Wenatchee and the East Wenatchee Water District will begin construction on Rock Island Road this morning. The Water District is replacing a steel water main and service connections along Rock Island Road from Grant Road to McGee Street. And then at the end of the project, the road will be temporarily closed completely so the city can repave the area. A detour route and dates for the actual full closure will be provided by the city when they get that date locked in. Until then, the road will remain open in both directions for the water work, although drivers should expect some delays. The project is estimated to be completed by May 8th. Commissioners and executives from the Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority were in our nation's capital last week. They got an audience with Washington's senior U.S. Senator Patty Murray. Patty Murray hosted the visitors in Washington, D.C. for an update on port projects and on federal legislation that might affect them. The CEO of the port, Jim Kuntz, and Commissioner Richard DeRock were among the dignitaries. Murray said she'll continue to push at the federal level to support the regional port district's ongoing work. And if you want to go to Japan this fall, applications are available now if you want to be a part of the Sister City delegation that will visit Misawa, Japan, Wenatchee Sister City. That'll happen September 27th through October 6th. It's an annual trip, COVID notwithstanding, to commemorate the first ever nonstop trans-Pacific flight of 1931 by Clyde Pangborn and Hugh Herndon from Misawa to Wenatchee. This trip will mark the 93rd anniversary of the flight. Chosen delegates will spend several days in Japan. You'll stay with the host family and foster relations with the people of our sister city. Applications are now open to students and Wenatchee Valley 7th to 12th grade students. And of course, they'll need chaperones. Applications can be submitted online to the Wenatchee Valley Misawa Sister City Association until March 25th, which is 1 week from today. And that is the news. At 13 minutes after the hour, we'll have all the news that you need to keep you informed about what's going on in our area, not only in the Wenatchee Valley, but all of north central Washington. The news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock tonight, 5, 6, and 10 on TV. If that doesn't work for you, or you want to watch the news on your own schedule, our newscast will be up and running on our homepage, ncwlife.com, right around 5 o'clock. Same deal with our Facebook page, same deal with our YouTube page, and on our app. If you haven't downloaded the app, you can do it by picking up your phone and doing the old QR right there on your screen. If there's something out there that you think we need to know about, send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Pretty long weekend for our local hockey teams, both professional and right here in the big city. We got sports in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Come see how very different you will feel in your Bullfrog Spa.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
Are you hungry enough to eat the end out of a rhinoceros? I know how you feel. Come on out to Blueberry Hills. You'll have a great time. We've got excellent food, a feet on the furniture kind of experience, and we won't hustle you out of your table. If you want a real farm experience, make the trek to Manson to Blueberry Hills, where you sit, you pick, you eat, and you visit. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
17 minutes after the hour, the Nashville Predators lead the wild card chase in the Western Division, and they continue to lead the wild card chase in the Western Conference with a 4-1 win over the Kraken on Saturday night. Seattle has now lost 4 straight games, all of them at home.
Jankowski, McDonough, far side. It pinballs home off Justin Schultz out in front. From the flank, it's Tommy Novak. 4:23 left to go in the first period. 1-0. To the ring now, Yamamoto. He'll take it downstairs. He'll try the far side. There's Bjorkstrand to the point, cradled. Evans, Burakovsky with a shot. He scores! Andre Burakovsky with a power play goal. 18:36 left in period 3. The Kraken tie it.
Good puck movement over and across it. Makes no mistake, Shen going down to block this shot. Curl, drag, snaps that puck up over the shoulder of Sarles, who does a good job getting out above the paint, trying to challenge, just not able to react fast enough right over the shoulder. A great shot for Burakovsky.
In Yanni Gord. Tyson Berry. This way for Nyquist to the goal line. Forsberg stopped by Grubauer. They score on the rebound. Roman Josi picks up the loose change with a power play goal. 16:01 left. Nashville back up by 1.
Easily top 5 best mustache in the league.
Who do you have on that list? Wait a minute. Josi scores. Yeah, wait a minute is right. Right off the face-off, a bullet from downtown. Roman Josi. Face-off won by Beniers. McCann will shorten up on the stick now. Foot race. Philip Forsberg will put this one away. 1:20 on the clock. 4-1 Nashville.
The Kraken remain 9 points behind Vegas for that final wild card berth, and there's only 16 games remaining. The math does not look good. The Buffalo Sabres come to Seattle tonight at 7 o'clock on Root Sports. So the Oregon Ducks win the last Pac-12 tournament title on Saturday night, at least the Pac-12 as we know it. They beat Colorado to take up the title 75-68, and they get the automatic bid, the Ducks do. The Cougars fell short of playing in their first ever final on Friday night. They lost a slugfest, a pretty ugly game. They lost to Colorado on Friday night, the semis, 58-52. But they're in the big dance, no surprise there. And here's who's going and who they're playing. Thursday night in Salt Lake City at 4:25 on CBS, Gonzaga pulls out another 5 seed in the men's tournament. They will take on number 12 McNeese State. And then that'll be in Salt Lake City at 4:25 on Thursday on CBS. On True TV, which sucks because I don't have it, Thursday in Omaha at 7:05. That's when the Cougars, who got a number 7 seed, will take on number 10 Drake. Again, 7:05 Thursday on True TV. As far as the women's tournament is concerned, Gonzaga got another number 4 seed, and they get to host a game. Not in campus, but at least be in Spokane. Saturday in Spokane at 4:30 on ESPN2. Number 4 Gonzaga will take on the 13th seeded UC Irvine Anteaters. I love that. And Eastern Washington, the Lady Eagles, are in the tournament for the first time since 1987, but they take on Oregon State in Corvallis Friday at 5 o'clock on ESPN2. And the first ever women's basketball invitational begins this week, and both the Huskies and the Cougars are going. Games will be broadcast on ESPN+, so you'll need the app. It'll be Lamar against Washington State in Pullman, and Georgetown, the Lady Horrors, will take on Washington in Seattle. The game times have not been locked in yet. When they are, we'll let you know. Baseball games that don't count. Mariners had an interesting weekend. They were rained out on Friday. They won't be making that up because, again, it doesn't count. Over the weekend, they beat the White Sox 8-2. They beat the Reds 11-7. But yesterday, the Diamondbacks beat the Mariners 5-4. As we're getting closer and closer to opening day, the Mariners will take on the world champion Texas Rangers. Got to get used to that. First pitch at 1:05 down in the desert. Well, the Wenatchee Wild's magic number to clinch home ice advantage in the first round of the WHL playoffs dropped to 3 over the weekend, despite the fact they lost 2 of 3 games over the weekend. Friday night in Wenatchee, Carter Profosky led the way with a goal and an assist in a 3-1 victory over Spokane.
Sox, Breezers are all black. Faceoff belongs to Wenatchee. Fired on. Threaded through with Isogai, and it's kicked away. Cowan with another save. Isogai backdoor, chipped up top, they score! Evan Friesen, top corner, Wild on top, it's 1-0. Perfect feed to Evan Friesen. Wild lead it by 1. McCaggerty back to the right point for Prasovsky. Slides a pass for Sward. Wristed on it, gets through, they score! Pretty sure there was a redirect in there somewhere. Wenatchee will take that goal anyway it comes. Maddox McCaggerty. Now just 4 points away from the franchise WHL record for the most points by a defenseman in one season. 81 is the mark to beat. Wrist shot right up, they score!
That was Friday night at the Talentia Center. Saturday night, the Wild erased a 2-goal deficit in the third period, but it wasn't enough as Portland, the Winterhawks, pull out a 5-3 victory on Saturday night.
Works it along, locked off with Marcus Nguyen. Stretch pass going the other way. Nate Danielson over the line on time. Doesn't have numbers. He's got 3-on-3 now. Waits, wrist shot, they score. Marcus Nguyen. Chance from the left wing circle, deposits it low, and the Wild find themselves down 1. Third of the way through the middle stanza of this one, and it's a 1-0 game. Portland in the lead. Marcus Nguyen with the only goal so far. To the right point, Budazzoni walks it looking for a chance. Gets it to Morey, left dot, sends it on, and he scores. Josh Morey just under the bar. Finds Jugnoff in front of the benches. Mailed it to center, it's stolen. Jodry feeds a pass. Ward looking for a shot, they score! Kalen Jodry, why don't you stay a while? Found Hayden Moore. Moore does the rest. More of that, please. Kalen Jodry, his first WHL assist. It'll be a primary apple. It'll be a 2-1 hockey game. Wenatchee down by only 1 against a Portland team. A win away from a U.S. Division championship. They want that win to be tonight. To the near point, Sward chops it for Friesen, goes back to her, they score! Tie game! Another one for the Wild. It's a brand new hockey game. Miles Cooper on the Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning power play! Nudged along with Zakreski. Far corner, Chizowski beaten to it. In the corner by Prasovsky, but the Wild cannot clear the zone on this one. Lofted in below the hash marks. Zakreski trying to dance it away from Graham Sward. Out to the right point, Cagnoni with a wrist shot. It rattles home. They score. Comes to the back of the net to collect it. Minute 52 left in the third. 23 seconds left in the 6-on-3 with no netminder for the Wild. They need 2. Driving left wing, Iso guy to the net, top corner, he scores! They left him time, they left him space, and he left that goal in the top corner of the net. It's a one-goal game, and they didn't realize it. Danielson shifts it toward the net. It's off the side of the frame. Down to 30 seconds to play. In below the goal line, thrown on by Nguyen. Turnaround chance. Cooper doing his best goaltender, but cannot keep that one out of the net, and it's a 5-3 game for.
And that was Saturday night. And then yesterday afternoon in Spokane, the Chiefs rolled out to a 5-0 lead before the Wild could get on board. And Wenatchee lost yesterday to Spokane. In Spokane, the final was 6-1. Fortunately for the Wild, Prince George beat the team that's chasing the Wild. Vancouver, they beat them yesterday 6-3, so that keeps the Wild in 4th place, which is where they want to be. The Wild begin a 2-game series in Victoria Wednesday, then they close out the regular season Saturday in Everett. All right. Prep soccer scoreboard from over the weekend. Both Wenatchee and Eastmont went to the other side of the mountains, and both came out on the short end of the stick. The Spartans of Skyline beat the Panthers 3-1 on the pitch, and Newport beat Eastmont 3-1 in soccer on Friday. Saturday, a lot of games. Eastmont returned home and lost to Mount Si. The final there was 5-2. Moses Lake shut out Natchez Valley 5-0. It was Cashmere over Zilla, 3-0 in boys soccer. Cascade all over Brewster, 7-0. Quincy beat Okanagan 3-0. Bear Creek over Chelan 3-2, and Manson nipped Orville in boys soccer 3-0. Prep baseball over the weekend. Some games Friday, some games Saturday. Glacier Peak beat Eastmont 3-0 in prep baseball. Natchez Valley swept the Cashmere Bulldogs 2-1 and 8-6 on Saturday. Also on Saturday, Quincy sweeping Waluka. Couple of shutouts, 12-0 and 5-0. Colville and Chelan split. Colville won the first game, 12-2. Chelan won this nightcap, 8-3. And prep softball over the weekend. Eastmont crushed Gonzaga Prep, and then they lost to Hanford over the weekend. Moses Lake beat Meade 10-0, and then Herbeston 10-0. Clean sweep for Cashmere over Brewster in girls fast pitch softball, 12-2 and 19-7. And just like baseball, Quincy swept Wahluke in girls softball, 7-2 and 9-8. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. On this 18th day of March, if you want to celebrate Global Recycling Day, you can do so. Today is Forgive Mom and Dad Day. Today is National Supreme Sacrifice Day. Today is National Biodiesel Day. Today is National Sloppy Joe Day. Today is National Awkward Moments Day. But we're going to do something we don't normally do. We're going to celebrate a national holiday that isn't in this country. We're going to throw up the flag of, you want to take a guess at that? Anybody? Aruba. It is National Anthem and Flag Day in Aruba. Aruba is an island country just about 20 miles off the coast of Venezuela in the Caribbean, Southern Caribbean. It was first colonized by the Spanish in the 17th century, and then the Netherlands took over after that. It was a Dutch colony after that, and for a brief time during the Napoleon Wars, the English had it, and then they gave it back to the Netherlands. Why the Netherlands gave up Aruba to give them their own country and their own control in 1948 on this date is beyond me, because Aruba may have, of all the countries in the world, Aruba may very well have the best weather. Although it's in the Southern Caribbean, it's not a subtropical climate. It's a dry climate. It's sunny and warm in January. It's sunny and warm in July. It's sunny and warm in November. The temperature doesn't move very much. It is dry climate. They don't get a lot of rain. It is basically, a lot of people believe that if you want to go sit on the beach and have somebody bring you a cocktail in an umbrella, you can't do much better than Aruba. So I wish I was in we've had Aruba-like weather, though, for the last couple of days. Aruba, it's on my bucket list. One of these days I want to go to Aruba and just enjoy. It's just about the bottom of the hour. Today in history, another friendly reminder that yes, the Revolutionary War was a great deal of us, the American colonists, saying we don't want to hang around with King George, we don't want to be British subjects, we want to do our own country right here, take a run at democracy and see if it works. That's half of it. The other half is the British screwing up, and they screwed up on this date. They kind of half screwed up. On March 18, 1766, almost exactly 1 year to the day that they put the Stamp Act into effect, the British Parliament rescinded the Stamp Act. They said, okay, we heard you colonists. Our bad. Of course, no taxation without representation was the big problem there. The problem is they were already pretty ticked off about it. Even though the British realized they made a mistake, and now we got the colonists all mad at us, so we'll get rid of the Stamp Act. By that time, it was too late. The fuse had been lit. They tried to take it away, and it didn't work. Thanks, Great Britain. Thanks, George. Keep up the good work. 132 years ago today, former Governor General Lord Stanley pledges that he will have a silver cup designed, and it will be awarded at the end of the year to the best hockey team in all of Canada. This is in 1892, and it became, of course, known as the Stanley Cup, and that's the very top of the Stanley Cup. As they started playing more and more games and more Stanley Cups, it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The Stanley Cup is the oldest professional trophy that is awarded to a professional sports franchise in North America. Since it was first awarded in the NHL in the 1915 season, it's been handed out 103 times by 20 current NHL teams. 5 defunct teams also won the Stanley Cup. They don't exist anymore. It was not awarded for 2 years. In 1919, there was the Spanish flu epidemic, and the Stanley Cup was canceled. Of course, there was no professional hockey at all, at least in the NHL in the 04-05 season because of the lockout. The Stanley Cup is 132 years old today. 44 years ago today, a couple hours before they were ready to launch a big rocket, a Vostok 2M rocket, 2 hours before its scheduled launch time, they were putting gas in it, or whatever it is that you put into a rocket that you're going to shoot up into space. The rocket explodes on the launch pad. 44 people were killed instantly. 4 others died from burns over the last couple of days, so 48 people were killed. The people in the Soviet Union never found out about it. In fact, the official Soviet press agency TASS reported that the launch of the rocket was a huge success. They didn't tell their people that 48 people burned to death and the rocket exploded. It didn't become news. It wasn't revealed for 9 years. How can you keep that a secret? I mean, they were pretty good at it, but how do you? 48 people died. What's the Soviet Union going to tell to the families, the wives and the kids of the 48 people who went to work that day and didn't come home? How do you keep that a secret? And finally, it is the 34th anniversary of what remains the largest art theft in this country's history. 12 paintings worth about $500 million is stolen from the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in downtown Boston. It was a pretty good heist, all things considered. The guards who actually worked, it was in the middle of the night, the guards were actually working in the museum. When they got a call from the police, we have a report that one of your alarms has gone off. So 2 policemen met the guards at one of the back entrances. Only they weren't cops, they were just dressed as cops. As soon as the 2 guards let the 2 policemen in, the policemen handcuffed the guards and they had the whole place to themselves for a couple of hours. 12 paintings worth $500 million. No arrests have ever been made. The artwork, the 12 paintings, have never been recovered. Who knows where they're at? There's still a reward. Good luck with that. It's been 34 years. I think they can pretty much say they're not going to get it back. One birthday. It's a president's birthday. We always do presidents. Grover Cleveland. Born in this state in 1837, he was both of course, the 22nd and 24th presidents of the United States, the only president in American history to serve 2 non-consecutive terms, and alongside Woodrow Wilson, one of only 2 Democrats elected to the presidency in the 72 years between 1860 to 1932. If you wanted to be president, you pretty much had to be a Republican. That was all there was to it. When he was the sheriff of Erie County in Ohio, it was his job to execute prisoners. If you were convicted to die, to hang, it was up to the sheriff to do it. And if the sheriff didn't want to do it, he had to pay a $10 fine to have somebody else do it. Grover Cleveland was notoriously cheap. He was stingy. Instead of paying the $10 to have one of his deputies do the executions, he actually did 2 of them. He hung Patrick Morrissey in 1872 and John Gaffney in 1973 rather than pay the $10 fine. He may be the only president to ever actually have executed somebody. I don't know. During the 1884 presidential election, he was accused of fathering a child out of wedlock. He admitted that he had been paying child support, if you will, or he's helping raise the child, but he denied he was actually the father of the child. It turned out to be a whole bunch of nothing. He's the only president ever to get married at the White House. He married to Frances Folsom in the White House, the only president to get married in the White House. Grover Cleveland was 49. She was 21. They had 5 kids. Worked out pretty good. Grover Cleveland, of course, now Donald Trump is trying to do what Grover Cleveland did, serve again after losing a presidential election, coming back 4 years later and actually winning. We shall see. Special thanks to Alpine Air for heat and air. Call Alpine Air before the heat really comes. Get your AC checked. It's always a good idea to get your air conditioning checked and your HVAC checked before you really need it to kick into high gear with the hot of the summer. So check it out, have Alpine Air, give it a little look-see. Special thanks to our friends at Pool to Spa Services, proud to be a sponsor here at the NCW Life Channel. I could use a spa right about now. And our friends at Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista. Mike Mignotti's got an opinion, and then Austin Drawdy is supposed to be in the green room. We'll find out together. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Most of us are in touch with the internet in one way or another all day long. A fast, secure connection matters. It keeps us entertained, informed, and in touch. Locatel cares about your connection. We know strong, reliable internet with your choice of speed makes life better. If you need fast, reliable internet, or maybe an upgrade, or you just have questions, connect with us by visiting locatel.com or call 509-888-8888 today.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota equipment. Part of the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S., they offer the versatility and reliability to get the job done right all year round. Right now, bring home select VX and L Series tractors for 0 down, 0% APR for 72 months. Contact your Kubota dealer for details.
Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue, family owned and operated on North Wenatchee Avenue, right next to Hooked on Toys. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue uses only fresh ingredients handcrafted with love, including authentic Hawaiian barbecue and Japanese-style ramen noodle soups. And the bubble teas will keep you coming back for more. Enjoy the culinary tour of the Pacific Rim with Hawaiian barbecue lunches and combo plate classics, as well as ramen noodle soups. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue. Enjoy their comfort food like you're one of the family.
The new Hummer EV is everything you want in an all-electric vehicle. It's powerful, reliable, comfortable, and will take you anywhere you want to go, on-road or off. Why buy one of those lesser EVs when you can have one that uses them for traction? Order your Hummer pickup or SUV today from Sangster Motors, batteries included.
Check out ClubProCashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I believe there are a number of private and charter schools in our area. Actually, one of my grandkids goes to one. And I remember when this particular school and the others started, they did so without justifying the creation of their school by spreading false information and outright lies about the public school system and our current school board. I mean, why should they? People, you can start at school if you want to. Yeah, nobody's stopping you. So why should any local organization have to resort to mudslinging and the outright spreading of lies and disinformation to justify their doing so? Well, you know, this is why. It's a common fascist tactic. Yeah, that's the word, fascist. If you want like-minded people to support your project financially, you create a mutual enemy. Yep. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Your home runs on hot water. From the kitchen, to the bath, to the laundry. So Rheem offers a wide variety of water heaters from traditional models to ones smart enough to tell you how much hot water is available. On second thought, perhaps the laundry can wait.
It's cold outside and time to make sure your loved ones are safe and secure at home during the cold months ahead. Aging and Adult Care has low-cost, in-home care options for seniors, adults with disabilities, and for caregivers assisting relatives or friends. Services like housekeeping, personal care, and home-delivered meals can make such a difference for you or someone you know. These services and more are available by calling Aging and Adult Care's offices at 1-800-572-4459.
The Wenatchee Valley. Here, most of us really enjoy the great outdoors, and most of us try to make the most of our natural resources. Here at Apple Valley Honda, we know that for generations, we have harnessed nature to sustainably power the West, and we are proud to be part of that tradition as an environmentally green dealership award winner. Being a green dealership means Apple Valley Honda has reduced our overall environmental impact. We are so proud to live in this wonderful community.
How do you think like an entrepreneur?
I have had it in mind starting my own business. This is all really good to know right now.
I am currently making a vision board. I am talking about my well-being, my personal finances, and habits that I would like to work on and to improve myself to be a better entrepreneur.
Every once in a while, not too often, but every once in a while, Austin Andrade comes in live to talk about Wenatchee Wild hockey. This is a special occasion, even though they don't have any more home games left until we get to the postseason. We're down to just 3 more games left. Victoria Wednesday, Victoria Friday, Everett over the weekend, and then that's it. Then it's playoff time, and all things considered, even though we only won one of our 3 games over the weekend, we beat Spokane at home on Friday night, lost to a very good Portland team in a very entertaining game on Saturday, and then the less we're talking about yesterday in Spokane, the better. We didn't do any damage. We're okay, Austin. Austin Andrade, by the way, is here.
Hi.
Yeah.
It's no, it's not a bad scenario for the guys right now, sitting in 4th place, a chance to hopefully lock up home ice this week up in Victoria, and things are looking good, at least for the number 5 spot right now. I know we were trying to do a little quick math off the air to see if there was any other way to shake it out, but things are looking pretty good for this group right now going into the final week.
Let's show some highlights. We'll start with Friday night with our 3-1 victory over the Chiefs here at the Town Toyota Center. Austin's going to walk you through some of the goals. This is the Wenatchee goals. Austin, I'm going to ask you to use the monitor here in our studio. You folks at home, please use your televisions.
3 minutes into the game, trying to clear this one out. Spokane, not going to happen. Fed toward the net, quick rip and a goal. Evan Friesen draws the crowd and draws the attention of the crowd up in the stands. Evan Friesen and the Wild helping get this one out to a 1-0 lead and get it there early. That one comes just 3:21 into the game with a one-timer from mid-slot. Early second period, the Wild do it again. Thrown on by Graham Sward, Maddox McCaggerty, the tip and the tally. 2-0 score for Wenatchee, just 2:05 out of the break in the second period. More coming up for the Wenatchee Wild as they show the replay. Yep, that one right to the back of the net off a redirect in front. 7 minutes into the second period, Wenatchee going to add on to the lead. First one doesn't get through for Carter Prasovsky. Fine, I'll do it myself. Throws it on from the right dot and hits his target to make it 3-0 for Wenatchee. That one right past Dawson Cowan, who had not been beaten by the Wild yet this year. That has changed as the Wild pick up 3-1 victory. They give up a one later on in that one on Friday night. But the last and only goal for Cameron Parr and the Chiefs, not enough to make a difference.
We were at the game on Saturday. Good crowd. Was it the biggest crowd of the year? I think I saw that it was the biggest crowd of the year on Saturday night.
Not quite the biggest crowd. Not quite the biggest crowd of the season. One of the bigger ones, though, and helped the Wild pass some big milestones as far as attendance goes.
Talk about that before we do the highlights.
So the first time ever in Wenatchee junior hockey history, we've had 100,000 people walk through the doors for our games over the course of the season, but the crowd on Saturday night was big enough to get our average to 3,030 per game for the season. That's the biggest one in 13 years, and the third largest crowds per night in Wenatchee Wild history here in the Valley.
I've been talking to people who have been following the Wild since they began 15 years ago, and they said there's no question attendance since they joined the WHL. Attendance has really taken off this year.
It's been a very good reception from the crowds here in the Valley as far as the product is concerned and the quality of the play on the ice. But I think a lot of it goes to the visiting fans too. We've had fans come in from Portland, from Tri-City, from Seattle, from Spokane. We had quite a few of them this weekend. Folks are traveling to see these teams play here in Wenatchee, and we've gotten a lot of good comments from people who come in from other markets about our fans, about our facility, and they look forward to coming back.
Portland is very good. The Winterhawks are in second in our conference, and they gave us a really good game. We gave them a really good game. Once again, Austin, I'm going to ask you to use the monitor here in the studio. You folks at home, please use your televisions. It's all yours, my friend.
The magic of television. 4 minutes into the first period, Portland trying to get off to a good start, and they're going to find Marcus Nguyen. Left circle, bang, 1-0. Portland in front. 4 minutes into the contest with the toss from Marcus Nguyen just off the slot inside the left wing face-off circle. There it is. Early second period, chance out front gets all the way through. Winterhawks going to look to set it up for another chance back out to the right point. And there's nothing there. Let's go left door. Shot and a goal from the left wing face-off dot, and a 2-0 score as that one gets through Brendan G. He got some help from his friends, though, in the second period. 45 seconds later, Kalen Jodry finds Hayden Moore, finds the back of the net. 2-1 score. Kalen Jodry's first assist in the Western Hockey League after picking up a couple of goals on the Alberta road trip a few weeks ago. Kalen Jodry, here you go. You take care of the rest. Puts it in underneath for the tally to get this one to a one-goal game. Jan Spooner not quite on this one. 2-1 score early third period. Wild bring it out of their own end on the power play. That's a nice 2-goal lead you had. Be a shame if somebody made it disappear. Chance on the back door. This one belongs to Miles Cooper. 2-goal lead gone. Game tied at 2, and it's anybody's hockey game from this point. Portland says it is anybody's game. Let's try to make it ours. 7 minutes into the third period, Luca Cagnoni is going to get a pass out at the blue line. Battle on the far corner. Got to find a way out. Where is he? Found him. Luca Cagnoni from the blue line throws it on the rope. And nope, at the net. This one makes it a 3-2 game. Portland would get it to 4-2. Wild up on a 5-on-3. Not dead yet. Kenta Isogai in over the line, gets some space, walks it to the front. I got this. 4-3. Wenatchee gets it back to within 1. Still up a man for the next 58 seconds. Wild trying to score. They, unfortunately, would not. But Kenta Isogai weaving it through. Excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Gotta get this one. Yep, 1-goal game. Jan Spooner has that one slide right past him. This one slides out of the Wild end, off the side of the goal frame. Wild just trying to get this one out of the corner. Marcus Nguyen bookends. Had the first goal of the game, has the last goal of the game with 26.9 remaining, and the Portland Winterhawks come away with a hard-fought 5-3 victory.
I like the fact we pulled the goalie. We kind of had to. That our defenseman went ahead and said, "I'll just play goal, and I hope I don't get." I mean, he did it. I mean,
he did the best he could.
He stood in the crease and said, "You know, I'll do what I can." But we gave them a good game, a very good team, a very good game. They definitely had a playoff atmosphere to it. But what I noticed, especially in the third period. Austin, again, I was at the game signing autographs. You know how it is when I'm out in public. It's like, oh, it's Dan Kuntz. It happens all the time.
TV star, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, television star. I noticed that we got them out of their game. They started to get flustered, and they started getting these little penalties. And we'd like that because they seemed to mentally have lost their edge. Portland did. We took full advantage of that, didn't we?
They took a few penalties late. I think they had a lot of passes that they had good setups. They didn't have the finishes they needed. I noticed that from both teams, but I really noticed that from Portland late in the game on Saturday night. And those penalties allowed the Wild to come back and make it a game there at the end. You got to take advantage of the power play chances.
And we did. We had a 5-on-3 and a 6-on-3 when you're supposed to score in those situations, and we did both times. So special teams was great. 2 for 4 on the power play on Saturday night, exactly what the Wild needed. Hoping for 3 for 4, but it's not always going to work out. And they had just enough on the penalty kill on Saturday to get that one done at the end. We would be remiss. We do need to talk about yesterday afternoon in Spokane. Spokane ran out to a 5-0 lead. 6-1 was the final. We from the highlights, I watched the highlights that Austin sent me. I decided not to use them. They just kind of looked like they had played 3 games in 3 days. They didn't quite have that spark about them. Both teams had played 3 games in 3 days. Spokane had just had a hard-fought game the night before, beat Tri-City with 13 seconds left to clinch their playoff spot. But both teams were battling, I think, a little bit of fatigue, and Spokane had that extra jump. I could feel the game kind of start to change at the end of the first period. I thought the Wild got off to a decent start, just weren't able to find the back of the net, but a little bit of pressure above the face-off circles, some turnovers in some inopportune spots, and Spokane was able to take advantage, and they got hot there for about an 8-minute stretch, and yesterday was just not the day to get hot. These things happen. It's as simple as that. But as we mentioned before, when I did sports, we were in 4th place when the weekend began. We're in 4th place now, even though we lost 2 of 3 because Prince George beat Vancouver. Vancouver's the one that's right on our heels. They beat them. So thank you, Prince George, by the way, for doing that. So right now, locking in that 4th playoff spot, which is as good as we're going to get, is looking pretty good right now with 3 games to play. Right on the verge. The magic number down to 3 points coming into the week. Right now, the Wild could have gotten it down to within 1 point. Not able to get it done yesterday, but that's the number 1 goal for the Wild right now. The number 2 goal is at least to get into the 5 spot. You avoid those top 3 teams at the top of the conference standings. And right now, the Wild, I think there are tiebreaker scenarios that would keep it from happening where the Wild would drop to 6th anyway. But basically, it's down to 1 point to put the Wild in that 4-5 line for the playoffs. So things are looking pretty close. Everybody's been asking, what's the magic number? How low have we gotten it? It's down to 3. The Wild are not there yet, but a really good chance to finish it off in Victoria here the next couple of days. Yeah, we have 2 games in Victoria, Wednesday and Friday, with a day off in between. Mm-hmm. Give me a scouting report on the Royals. That's one of the teams, by the way, that are chasing us. Talk about the Royals. Victoria, it's been a little while since we've seen them. They don't have quite the high power scoring at the top of their lineup that the Wild do, but Cole Reschny is one of the top rookies in the league. He's coming up on 60 points. Justin Kipke is one of their higher scoring defensemen, kind of like our Graham Swart, just again not quite as high-powered scoring at the very top of their lineup, but they've got some weapons to work with in Victoria. They've got a decent special teams unit, so it's not a group to be trifled with. They're playing for a lot right now, trying to improve their playoff seeding, and it's their last 2 home games of the season too. So I would expect even for a midweek, their crowd will be out to give them the extra energy and try to give them the boost they need to get 4 points out of this one. The 8 teams in the Western Conference are in. We know the 8 teams. Spokane punched their ticket over the weekend. So we know who the 8 teams are that's going to be in the WHL playoffs. We just don't know exactly where they're going to sit 1 through 8. The best we can do is 4th. We're in 4th. I like our chances. Victoria Wednesday, Victoria Friday, and then Everett to wrap up the regular season. And of course, we all know the Silvertips are pretty good. Silvertips are pretty good. They've got
power for scoring up and down their lineup, solid goaltending, excellent special teams. It's a tough combination for anybody to take on, but the way these guys played against Portland, I think it was a good confidence point to take away for them. You got one of the best teams in the Western Hockey League in your building, and you take them to the brink. It's I hesitate to use the word moral victory, but it's a good point of confidence for these guys to take away that, hey, you can play with the best of the best.
Let's call it a morale victory instead.
Sure.
Instead of a moral victory. Real quickly, in a minute we have left, playoff tickets. Let's get the folks in on this.
Playoff tickets, single game tickets still not on sale yet because we're not sure where game one will be yet or who it'll be against. That's all got to be decided this week. But full playoff packages are still on sale, especially if you're planning on getting your season tickets for next year. Get the playoff package now. That deposit that we usually take for the season tickets, any playoff games we don't take will roll over to your season ticket deposit after that. So especially if you're planning on getting season tickets next year, get the playoff package. It'll give you a really good discount on your playoff tickets on a per game basis, and we want to fill the place up, whether it's game 1 and game 2, game 3 and game 4, second round, third round, whatever's coming down the road. We want to have a good crowd behind these guys.
Have a good time in Victoria. It's absolutely one of my favorite cities in the Pacific Northwest. Curlew is #1. I love Curlew. I vacation there every time, but Victoria is a wonderful town. You're going to like it up there.
I've heard a lot of that. Looking forward to it.
You're going to like it a lot. Austin Drade, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild. Again, Victoria Wednesday, Victoria Friday, Everett over the weekend, and then it's playoff time. You can listen to Austin call all the action on the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network on 560 KPQ, and also for a small fee, you can watch them online. What do you think about this World Wide Web? You think it's catching on?
I think it's going to be something.
I think I'm going to get me internet. Everybody's talking about it. I think I'm going to be all over there.
It's the latest thing.
Austin Drade, everybody, give it up. A weather forecast you're going to like is next. You're watching a Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
The madness has started at the National RV Show, being hosted once again at the Grant County Fairgrounds, March 14th through the 18th.
Top manufacturers are coming from across the country,
like Grand Design, Flagstaff, Thor, Forest River, and SMC Horse Trailers.
Banks on site with super low interest rates.
0 down and no payments till July. Enter to win $30,000 in cash or a new 2023 StarCraft trailer. No purchase necessary. Shoot the basket and get an additional $500 off after you make your deal. The National RV Show has Grand Design, Flagstaff,
and more
at the Grant County Fairgrounds, March 14th through the 18th.
Shoot, I think I left my keys in the kitchen. Can you grab them?
Yep.
Find out?
What's this?
It's a locking bag. It keeps Grandma's medication safe.
But I could just take it.
Well, for one thing, it locks. And if it were gone, I know there's a problem.
Huh. Well played.
Help prevent opioid misuse before it starts. Visit getthefactsrx.com.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
So Austin's got the day off today in this gorgeous, sunny, record-high temperature. What are you going to do, bud?
Go for a walk. Enjoy it.
Good move. There'll probably be a lot of people on the Apple Capital Recreational Loop Trail. After setting a record yesterday, we're going to set another record today. Here's the forecast from the National Weather Service. 71 if we get there, and we will. That'll be a new record. The record is 70, set on this day back in 1978. Look how mild the overnight lows are. in the lower 50s perhaps. 69 the forecast high tomorrow. That would be a new record as well, or at least tie it. Then we cool down, but no complaints. Still temperatures above normal till we get to Saturday. That's it for us. Look out for Austin on the trail. We will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.